This is the Oppo Reno 14F. This is the camera-centric series of Oppo, which is the Reno series. And in this video, we'll see if it's worth your money or not. Before we start the video, let's give a quick shout out to Master Planet of Smartphone and Gadgets for providing this phone to us. More of them later in this video. You can also check them out from the links in the description below. First, let's talk about the build quality and the design. Holding in your hand, you'll feel that this is a very comfortable device on your hand, and it's not that very much of a big of a phone, and it feels really good on hand. Of course, the thing is that it is only 180 grams, which is under 200 grams. That is considered to be a lightweight phone. So this is very comfortable on your hand, and the feel is really good. Back shell is of course plastic. The entire build actually plastic frames, everything. But it doesn't feel that cheap. It has a matte back, which is kinda doing the opposite thing by grabbing fingerprints, which is not nice. It has flat side rails, which I like, but it's slightly rounded on the corners, which feels really nice on your hands. Again, this is made out of plastic, so it feels good on your hand. The color I'm holding here is called the luminous green. It also have two other colors, which are glossy pink and opal blue. They also look really nice, but this green actually looks really good. It has the volume rockers and the power button on the right side. On the bottom, it has the speaker grill, USB-C, microphone jack, and the SIM slot, which supports 2 nano SIM cards, and you can opt for a SD card if you're using a single SIM card. And on the top, you can see the secondary microphone. On the face of this phone, we have a 6.57 inches AMOLED display with 1 billion colors, which is very nice to see. And there is plenty of sharpness on this display, and the combination of 120 Hz. This looks really smooth. Again, the color reproduction is really good on this display, so in this regard, I would say it's 10 on 10. There is small yet noticeable punch hole on the top of the display, but it's better than the pill cutout, I guess. This phone is also IP68 rated, so no danger from water submersion. And yes, of course, underwater videography and photography is a highlighted feature for this phone. For the chipset, this thing packs out Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 with 4 nanometer threads, and it's a TSMC's process, so the performance is really good here. You can see the benchmark score right down there. The benchmark scores are promising. It's good for a mid-range phone, and it delivers. It's from TSMC, and thermals are really good. I've done throttling tests, and this thing rocks. It maintains the performance over 90% without getting hot, and I can assure you, for the performance side, it's good enough as a mid-range phone. For most of the game, it should do well, unless you are playing any AAA titles. So on the performance side, I think it's a thumbs up. Another thing to appreciate here is that this thing comes with UFS 3.1 storage, which is not the latest standard, but it's quite fast enough, so you should not have any issues in long term. This thing features a triple camera setup on the back. The main sensor is a 50 megapixel wide sensor, which just comes with the OIS. There is a 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor, and there is a useless 2 megapixel macro camera. Why I called it useless, you'll get it soon. During daytime, the main sensor takes really amazing photos, and there is really good dynamic range, and the color calibration is really nice. There is a feature Oppo is calling that color spectrum sensor, which does a really good job with color. And like I mentioned, the dynamic range is good. It does a heavy processing after taking the photo, so what you're watching on the viewfinder is not the final output. It does put a lot of work into it after taking the photo, which is kind of a limitation of the chipset. They are not hustling you to give you the actual preview. It does happen with all the Android phones, and yes, the image is phenomenal for this category of smartphone. So the photos are social media ready. The ultra wide camera is slightly weak, but it can mimic the color accuracy, but in terms of sharpness, it's not there. Dynamic range is also good on the ultra wide sensor. Now for the macro lens, it's only 2 megapixels, and the bummer is that you cannot go that close to a subject, so you're not getting that much of a detail. Again, the sensor is just 2 megapixels, so you won't be able to get a sharper photo from the macro sensor. I don't think many people gets benefit from having a macro lens. There is a 32 megapixel selfie camera on the front, and as you know, Oppo kinda likes to put some makeup on your face. It delivers good selfies. There is a good balance between the sharpness and smoothness, which you will appreciate. Now, in terms of video, the max resolution and the frame rate is 4K 30 FPS. The problem is it's only available on the main sensor, which is a bummer. In 1080p, there is plenty of frame rate options like 30 FPS, 60 FPS, and 120 FPS. You can only take ultra wide videos in 1080p. The video quality is just decent. Color reproduction and all the stuff are just okay for the price tag. I think I'm saying that it is not good enough. With the front camera, you can only take 1080p 30fps videos, so I didn't bother that. This is a 5G smartphone and it has enough bands to cover you up. On the battery segment, this thing packs up a 6000 milliamps battery, which is good enough to run you a day. You can go beyond that because this is a very efficient chipset, the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1, so you don't need to think about the battery life. Also, this thing comes with a 45 watt power adapter in the box, which is a very nice thing, and it can charge this thing really quick. This thing can also reverse charge other devices. It does have a stereo speaker. The speaker quality is good, it's loud enough, and there's plenty of bass. So software side, this thing comes with ColorOS 15 based on Android 15. There's not a lot of ads and like bummer on the ColorOS on this particular series, like the Reno series, which is kind of the upper tier smartphone series of Oppo, so you can expect a good experience for the software side. But the only thing I didn't like here is that it has a lot of pre-installs app. It can be bloatware if you are not using this app. That puts you in a good work after you purchase this phone. That's not particularly a deal breaker, but it's there. This is a very decent smartphone for the price tag, but it could be better, and if the price was lower, I would totally recommend it. This phone is priced at 43,000 taka in Mars 2 and Smartphone and Gadgets. And talking about Mars 2 is a group of shop located at the third floor of Satan complex in Comilla in the city. No matter which smartphone you want, they have all of the options covered. So if you're planning to buy your next smartphone, consider Mars 2 Planet of Smartphone and Gadgets. Check them out from the link in the description below. So this was it. See you in the next video. Till then, stay good, keep good, and keep doing Internet things. And yes, of course, keep watching Internet video.